Happening now, a hearing in the high-profile prison escape out of New Orleans in May. 10 inmates escaped through a hole in a cell wall after ripping out a toilet. They left the building by going through the loading dock door. After they scaled the barbed wire fence, surveillance video showed the men running across the interstate. The escapees went unnoticed for more than 7 hours. They allegedly had help from the inside. A jail maintenance worker was arrested, accused of turning off the water in the cell to help them remove the toilet. As for the inmates, 9 were recaptured within weeks. The manhunt concluded then when the last remaining inmate, Derek Groves, was found in Atlanta, hiding in a crawl space. That was earlier this month. All of the inmates have pled not guilty to escape charges. Trial attorney Brian Claypool is with us this morning. Not guilty, how far does that get them?
Hey, Marty, great to see you. I'm only giggling because, look, if I've ever seen a preliminary hearing that's a slam dunk, it's this case. I mean, they have on videotape, I don't know if you've shown it, the inmates actually running out of the prison in the middle of the night. And what's equally troubling for me is that the prison officials didn't even realize that they were gone until the morning hours. And what kind of danger would that have created in the community? And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the charges for escaping a prison in New Orleans, 2 to 5 years? Are you kidding me? I mean, what kind of deterrent is that for other prisoners to try to escape? It should be a much heftier jail time for escaping. And like you said, I can't believe these inmates are pleading not guilty. Their lawyers should be carving out deals right now to avoid a trial.
Yeah, what kind of deal would they likely be able to make, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is an unusual charge. We don't see this kind of charge that often. I'm not sure exactly what kind of deal. Maybe they have the same charge for what's called escape, but maybe they agree to less lenient time. But again, that gets to my prior point, which is that really doesn't serve as a deterrent for inmates to escape. So the prosecutors in this case, I think, should not be copying any plea deals. And I think that somebody in Louisiana, in the New Orleans area, legislators ought to modify that law and increase the prison time. What happens, Marnie, if one of those inmates had harmed somebody or they killed somebody? I mean, obviously they'll get charged for that crime as well, but this is not a good enough deterrent.
Right. And then there are allegations, Brian, that they had some help on the inside. There were even arrests made of somebody who worked in the facility. A deterrent may be more stringent for the prisoners who escape, but how about the message that a case like this would send to those involved who were working there?
Yeah, great question. Apparently there was a worker inside the prison who turned off the water for the inmates. Why is that important? Because they removed a toilet and escaped behind that toilet. So they needed the water turned off. Look, that person needs to be charged with, 10, he should be charged with 10 counts of accessory to escape, right? And the penalty for him should be very severe, because if you talk about a job that requires integrity and securing the safety of our community, it's that kind of job. Remember that woman a couple of years ago in the Midwest who helped, she actually walked out of the prison with an inmate and escaped. I mean, it's staggering what's happening within these prisons. And apparently there were some malfunctions too, Marnie, inside that prison with a gate. You've got to make sure prisons are secure, repaired. You've got to do better vetting and monitoring of employees who are working inside that prison.
Yeah, it's alarming. I think you're talking about that Alabama case. That one was a wild one. Why are they all appearing, Brian, together in court? What's the reason behind that, likely to have all 10 of them together to face the consequences of this?
Because it makes the case more powerful, and if the case did go to trial, it shows that there's a conspiracy that was going on here, and that leads to another question: why haven't these guys been charged with that? Right, the conspiracy also to escape, that should be a separate charge that could add some more jail time, because it's obvious that these 10 inmates got together with this guy to turn off the water to allow them to escape. But look, in terms of optics, if the case does go to trial, it's better to have all the defendants there. The jury looks at this, and it's more compelling when you have 10 people escaping at the same time, 10 people facing the music at the same time.
Yeah. Brian, thank you as always. Good to see you.
You bet. Great seeing you, Marnie. Thank you.